I've told this story, I mean, long-time viewers might remember. Years and years ago, in the 90s, I did a flight to New York where the gentleman sitting next to me whipped out a soft porn magazine and read it for most of the flight. And I didn't know what to say or do. Read my book. Apart from that, I'd never heard of such a thing until yesterday. And there was a story in the papers yesterday about a woman who was outraged that the bloke next to her, I think on the bus, was viewing video porn next to her, and she didn't know what to say or do. So I'm assuming that if I've seen some and she's seen someone doing it, this is going on.
Because, of course, if you've got screens now, so it's not just a question of having a magazine which is not moving, and you could, I suppose, be discreet. If you've got a screen and you've got glass round you, so you're against a window, that is actually reflected, and lots of friends...
Rebecca, what if you're reading an erotic novel?
And no one can see it,
But what if you're reading an erotic novel and the person next to you can see, either in reflection or next to you, the words on the page? Are we going to say...
really be reading. And also, it's about children.
Let's say it's by D.H. Lawrence, right? Who I had to study at university. Banned in his time for writing pornography. Yeah. Are we... I just can't get... I can't get a handle on it.
It's not the same thing.
Meter, so an arousal meter on everyone. If it goes above 5, off the train. It's not about the material.
What are Southern Rail commuters supposed to do while they're waiting to get to work?
Don't please talk about Southern Rail. You cannot talk to someone who comes from Brighton about Southern Rail without me just going into boom.
Quick,
and there's no amount of porn will make it better. Nothing. None. Zero. It's bad. I'm sorry.
It's a very... I don't know, there's a part of it which I think is what kind of weirdo would view, say, online porn on public transport. But I've met someone, I've sat next to someone who reads soft porn in a magazine. He could have just been reading the articles, but the pictures were there too. And then my natural anti-censorship nerve kicks in, and I think, it wasn't that long ago we were banning literature, the printed word, because of what some people
I do
felt.
think it is a totally different thing, because it's a very visible thing. The screens are bigger, you've got your iPad or your whatever it is, and it's not a subtle thing. Therefore, and it is reflected.
And what if someone's watching violent movies?
I don't like that either, actually.
The thing about this is what you get when you live in a free society. You have to cope with the anomalies. You have to look at somebody and go, I think that's atrocious, but every now and then something will come over the parapet that you think is awful. We live in a free society, and if we...
Go on, so what are you saying, that you should be allowed to view porn on the bus?
I think you probably should.
I agree.
Because at some stage... I agree. We get to the point where we're detaining somebody having a short skirt.
It's a slippery slope. It's a really slippery slope.
In free society, and we have to cope with it.
Listen, with whatever you are doing within your space, whether it is eating smelly food or whether it is watching something that is intrusive to other people, then it should be curbed. If you want to sit there singing, if you want to sit on a bus singing up, which I might want to do, I might want to sing on the bus, I might want to things, but it's actually intrusive to other people, then it's got to be curbed.
But
actually, might be
I'm not. But if someone's watching something on their iPhone or their iPad, no one asked me to do this and look over.
If you go down your route, Rebecca, where does it end, right? I'm affronted by One Direction's music. So what, they have to be banned because one person doesn't like them? Yeah. I sat next to a man for 7 hours, 8 hours on a plane. Nothing happened. It didn't affect my life. You know, I take Stefan's point, actually, that maybe, rather than going down the route saying you can't look at porn, but you can watch people having their heads cut off, right, which is perverse, and then you start going, well, what about other things people find offensive, smelly food? Perhaps we all have to do what you said, Stefan, and we just have to tolerate it.